afternoon. Pardon the background noise, but I have the AC on. And Sophia Petrillo was arrested maybe about 20 years ago. She told me a story and said that her nephew had been pulled over by the police, and she was driving down the road and recognized his vehicle, and she pulled over to see what was going on. But somehow she ended up arrested. And her story was that it was raining out, and that the cop that she was talking to, that his glasses slipped off of his face because it was wet, and they fell onto the ground. So she bent over to pick them up. But when she bent over to pick them up, she started falling, and somehow she grabbed for his legs. And she said they thought she was grabbing for his gun, and arrested her. They like threw her to the ground and put her hands behind her back and everything. And supposedly had it expunged from her record, and I think she had to do a fine in community service. I don't know if she did any jail time, whatever. She claimed that was her story. Well, the ex-boyfriend made friends with the police officer, and he said, yes, they detained the nephew on the side of the road, and they were just questioning him. And she came up and started being belligerent and arguing with them. And that's interfering and obstruction. And allegedly, there was no incident with his glasses sliding off, that she just lunged at him in a rage when he told her like she needed to like get back in her car and mind her own business. She got belligerent. And I believe the police officer, simply for the fact that, number one, you don't go and question the police when they're doing their job. You might ask a question from a distance, politely and respectfully. I also know what this person's personality is like, and she's a real domineering, aggressive bitch. Second of all, if I'm standing there talking to a man in the rain, whether he's a police officer or not, and his glasses fall off, unless he's like severely crippled, or a like baby or young child, or like an old man that can hardly move, that's like very, very elderly, I wouldn't pick them up for him. That's emasculating. Why would a cop let her do that? He would just pick up his own glasses. It sounds like a BS excuse she made up. So that's another thing about Sophia Petrillo. You know, coming to a point of, I think the woman does suffer from mental illness. So if I ever run into her, I probably would not really confront her unless she started up with me. See, I believe that there are some people that have like a rage disorder, and they go around having these rants. I saw a YouTuber do one. I watched it this morning, but apparently they were on in the middle of the night, and the person is so filled with hate and rage, and they've been doing this for years. No content, just making up lies and screaming and yelling, and it's really sad. So I think that person suffers from some sort of mental illness, and therefore I'm not addressing them anymore. I think that's a good policy to have. Just leave the mentally ill alone, even if they harass me, unless they're in my face. At that point, then, you know, you have to protect yourself. But I will leave the violent, aggressive, unhappy, mentally ill alone. And what they do, that's on them, but there are consequences to their behaviors. And if they cross a line, or they've already crossed a line, they are accountable to the law. So anyway, everyone, have the day that you deserve, and watch out for the Sophia Petrillos in your life. Bye.